What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. We had a big trade happen in the NBA as the Memphis Grizzlies traded All-Star forward Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz in exchange for Walter Clayton Jr., Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, Kyle Anderson, and 3 first-round picks. And wow, y'all, I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect Jaren Jackson Jr. to get traded, but I understand why the Grizzlies did it because it was time for them to fully embrace the rebuild. And they started this process last year after they traded away Desmond Bane, and that caught all of us by surprise because a couple of years ago, Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, and Jaren Jackson Jr. were supposed to be the faces of the Grizzlies franchise. They were supposed to carry this franchise for years to come, but when they traded away Desmond Bane, that was a strong indication, y'all, that they were ready to go in a different direction. Now, they did elect to keep Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. on the roster heading into this season, but the results have been mixed, right? They've only won 19 games. They're currently in 11th place in the Western Conference, and I think the Grizzlies just came to the realization that they can no longer be a great team being led by Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, I will say this, y'all, I'm surprised that they traded Jaren Jackson Jr. first rather than Ja. I thought they would have been eager to trade Ja considering, the on and off the court issues that he has had the last couple of seasons. So from that standpoint, I'm surprised that they traded Jaren Jackson Jr. first, but I get why they traded him, y'all. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. a great player? Yes. Is he one of the best 3-and-D forwards in the NBA? Yes. Is he an elite offensive and defensive player? Absolutely. But the Grizzlies are going absolutely nowhere with him, y'all. So if you can get, great players and our picks for him, you should absolutely do so, y'all. And that's what they got in this trade. Maybe not necessarily getting great players now, even though I do believe that Walter Clayton Jr. can become a great player in the NBA one day, y'all. And I really like them getting him in this deal. But getting 3 first-round picks, I mean, that is huge for the Memphis Grizzlies, y'all. And now they can fully embrace the tank because it's hard to, tank if you don't have a lot of draft capital, y'all. But now that, again, having these 3 first-round picks is going to be huge for them. Getting a young player, or really getting young players in Walter Clayton Jr. and Taylor Hendricks, who still have so much room to, grow and get better, y'all. And I think they're going to go along well with the young core they already have in place of Cedric Coward, Zach Edey, and Jaylen Wells, and Gigi Jackson. So now I feel like, y'all, they can really build their team around those young players I just listed and see how it goes. Now, I'm not saying any of those players are superstar players right now, but Cedric Coward, man, he's been one of the best rookies in the NBA. Zach Edey, he's a double-double machine. Again, Walter Clayton Jr. and Taylor Hendricks, 2 young players, y'all, that, have a lot of room to get better. So I like the Grizzlies roster right now in terms of just the young talent that they have on it, y'all. They still need to move Ja Morant, which is not going to be easy because I don't think too many teams are really going to be interested in his services considering the deficiencies that he has in his game. But when they're able to move off Ja, y'all, and maybe get another first-round pick or 2, I mean, the Grizzlies are going to be looking really good in terms of, having the young talent and having a lot of draft capital, y'all. So I love this trade for the Grizzlies. Does it, sting a little bit? Yes, because again, just 2 or 3 years ago, y'all, I mean, it looks like the Grizzlies, they had one of the best young big threes in the NBA with Ja Morant, Desmond Band, and Jaren Jackson Jr. It looked like they were going to be competing for championships for years to come. And now just 2 or 3 years later, y'all, all of that has ended. But hey, as they say, all good things must come to an end. It was just time for this era of Memphis Grizzlies basketball, y'all, to be put to an end. Again, once they trade Ja Morant, and they're really going to be able to usher in a new era of Grizzlies basketball. So I like this deal for them, y'all. But I absolutely love this trade for the Utah Jazz, y'all, because Danny Ainge has stated that he is tired of losing, he is tired of tanking, and he is ready to start winning games again in Utah, y'all. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is definitely going to help them do that. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, he is one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA. He is an elite shooter, an elite defender, and shot blocker, y'all. I think he's also a solid passer out of the post. And speaking of his post, I think he's got a lot better. When he came into the league, he was just strictly a 3-point shooter. But now, y'all, he can post up. He can face up, hit some mid-range shots as well. So I think he brings a nice diverse skill set offensively as well as defensively. And I think he's going to pair very well, y'all, with Walker Kessler, because what is the biggest knock on Jaren Jackson Jr. is his rebounding, right? He's not a great rebounder, but Walker Kessler is one of the best rebounders in the NBA. So I think they're going to form a nice duo, y'all. When you look at this Jazz front line, I mean, they are tall, they're athletic, they're versatile, they can shoot and they can defend, y'all. When you have Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Walker Kessler, I mean, all of those guys, y'all, are 6'10", 6'11", or taller. And again, they're athletic, they can shoot, they can pass, they can defend, they're versatile. So I think the Jazz next season, y'all, when Walker Kessler comes back and he's 100% healthy, I think they're going to have one of the best front lines, one of the best front courts in the NBA. And when you look at their backcourt, y'all, of Keyonte George and Ace Bailey, we know Keyonte George has arguably been the most improved player in the NBA this season. He's been phenomenal, averaging about 24 points and 8 assists per game. And then Ace Bailey, y'all, their young rookie player who started the season off slowly, but he's, gotten better and better as the years gone on. So I think you look at this Jazz starting lineup, y'all, of Keyonte George, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Walker Kessler. They should be competing for the playoffs. Now, they're going to be a championship team. They want, they still got, some more room to improve this roster. But, y'all, this starting five, though, looks pretty solid on paper. And they definitely should be competing for the playoffs, which is great because, the Jazz, let's think about it, y'all. The last 4 years, they've been absolutely abysmal. After they trade away Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, okay, they've been losing for long enough. It's time for them to finally become a competitive team yet again. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to help them do that, y'all. And the biggest thing I love about this trade for them is that they did not give up their 2026 first-round pick. So there's still a chance, y'all, that they could add like a Cam Boozer or AJ DeBance or a Kingston Flemings or Caleb Wilson or maybe even a Darren Peterson to this core, y'all. So that's why I really, really love this trade for them, because they did not have to part ways with their 2026 first round pick, which will, still give them the chance, y'all, to add one of the best freshmen in college basketball to this roster next season. So, man, the Utah Jazz are looking pretty good, y'all. Also like their bench, still having guys like Kyle Filipowski and Isaiah Collier and Bryce Sensabaugh. So yeah, y'all, the Jazz should definitely be a competitive team next season. And again, for the Memphis Grizzlies, hey, they can really enter this rebuild. You got young talent, you got, good amount of draft picks, so they can rebuild, y'all. And for the Utah Jazz, hey, they can finally get back to start winning some basketball games in Utah. So there you have it. This is my take on the Memphis Grizzlies trading All-Star forward Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz, and why I love this trade for both teams. Remember, y'all, last good messages or what? Make sure you get your daily dose, y'all. I'm Edey, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.